everybody, how are we? Hope you're well. Konsokijo here. This is Inspire YG. YG is an acronym for Young Generation, so Inspire Young Generation. It's an initiative that I started not too long ago. I think just right after I finished uni. So I do have an initiative, so I do have Inspire YG, and I do have a foundation called Hakiki Foundation, and I will put the information on the description of this video, description box of this video, so that you can follow some of those fantastic stuff that we are working on. So thank you so much for popping in. If it's your first time here, like I said, Konsokijo, I came to Australia, based in Sydney, Australia. I came here as an international student a couple of years ago, and I'm no longer a student, but I'm still very much passionate about everything international student matters, but not just international student, but just anything that touches on education. I'm really passionate about education. I'm passionate about personal development, personal growth, anything that has to do with advocacy, with diversity and inclusion, anything that has to do with building sense of belonging, advocating for people, equity and equality around the world. And so I really jump on here once a week. I try. I wouldn't say I still got this consistency down pat, but I try. And I am committed to try and thrive in this area, or actually strive to do better. Look, this is a very quick, hopefully it's a quick video, because when I start one of these, I just start ranting and I go or I keep going. I go on and on. But I saw a video this morning that sort of, I don't want to say broke my heart, but I've always wanted to, like when I'm talking about my personality, I am an ambivert towards introversion, meaning I love to go to a party, but I also like to stay at home, and I like to stay at home more than I like to go to a party, right? So yeah, I would go out, but the more I'm in social settings, noisy places where there's loud music or anything like that, it's almost like, you know how you have like a battery. I think I've seen that picture somewhere. I'll probably insert it on this video or in this section. But the more you're in the social setting, it's like your battery is going low, and then you sort of need to duck or run away from the party, maybe go and sleep, and then that's how you recharge your battery. That's how I am. And that's how I knew I was actually an introvert, which is quite interesting because the feedback I've received over the years is people get surprised when they learn that I am an introvert, because I do come across as an extrovert. But what I have learned is I have this thing. I'm not sure if it's with all introverts. I'm not sure if it's with all, I think it's with all empaths or majority of empaths. I don't know if it's with all introverts, but I have this thing where I actually can feed on people's energy. I don't even want to say if it's energy. Now, let me give a scenario. I would be walking on the road and I'm minding my business. I'm walking straight on this path. Let's assume this is a path. And I could scan around my environment and I can instantly tell you that person is extremely happy, that person is extremely sad, that person is about to cry, that person, and then it's almost like I'm feeding off of what they're feeling. And in that moment in time, I can actually get affected. Even if it's a split second, I can almost feel the sadness of that person, or I can almost feel the joy of that person, which is quite interesting. I think I just found words for it when I'm later on in life, but I've always heard that. I'm not sure what it is, but it is something. So I'm very careful even when I'm just browsing around social media. I don't like to do it often because of that particular reason. I tend to feed off of what people are feeling, and I can tend to get affected. Even if I don't want to, I just know that I have been affected. I'm that self-aware of my environment and the people in it. And so I watched this video of a young girl. She looked like she must have been maybe her late teens or at least in early 20s. and it could be early 20s because that's the age she was referencing. So it's a small video of a young girl walking around some street in Nairobi, Kenya, and she's talking about how the pressures that she feel at 20, or watching 20-year-olds, as 19, 20 years old peers, drive big cars, live in posh homes, whatever. I mean, she was trying to talk about that. She's illustrating it like it's real life. And I mean, we all know that most of the things on social media are also not real. People rent houses, people go on posh Airbnbs, people rent cars for different purposes, for parties, for shooting videos. I don't know. But I don't know. I cannot just ascertain by seeing someone, showcasing some part of, a segment of their life, showcasing that on social media. I cannot view that as their real life. However, I don't think it's the same, especially with younger people. Now, why did I feel sad when I watched that video? I felt sad because I sort of put myself in her shoes. Obviously, I'm talking about early 20s, and I put myself in her shoes and I imagined where I was in my 20s, my early 20s. Life was a ghetto. I mean, a lot of people, this is another conversation. I'm gonna, it's a sidebar, where in your 20s, especially let's say you're in Kenya, and I mean, every 20-year-old is like, we all don't have the same upbringing, we all don't come from the same background, we all don't have the same kind of worries or stresses. We could all be 20, but we're not having the same, you're not going through the same situations in life based on all those factors I've just mentioned. However, I think social media has made it worse because now it brings about the element of comparison, which I feel it's something that all of us as human beings at one point in our lives, we sort of have compared ourselves. I think it's something that even the people who no longer compare themselves, like, when you get older, that all becomes nonsense. But I feel like at some point growing up, like at some point, especially when you're younger, you tend to look at your friends and, feel like, oh my God, they're doing way better than I am, or I'm doing way better than they are, or vice versa. And I feel like sometimes comparison, and the Bible does say comparison is a thief of joy, is a joy thief. Is a joy thief? No. It's a thief of joy. There's no way you can compare yourself and be joyful or be in a state of gratitude. And I feel like it's harder, and I have to actually, I feel that's one of the reasons I felt sad for this particular young lady, because there is nothing else to do in the world of social media. Like, you can't help it. If you have a smartphone, you're probably going to be in one of these platforms. In one of these platforms, people are going to be showcasing what their life is like. There will be some people who showcase those posh cars and those posh houses and those posh holidays and all that. But I feel like I would do myself a disservice at 20 to actually be looking at another 20-year-old who probably don't come from the same background as I do, or is not in the same circumstances as I do, and compare my life to theirs. And I thought I'd share a bit of this. I thought I shared my views on this because I feel like maybe you are that younger, you are in your early 20s and you're watching this video, or you are a parent of a 20-year-old, or you have a niece or a nephew who is in their early 20s. It doesn't have to be in Kenya, anywhere in the world. I feel like maybe if I share a little bit of my journey, that might, it's just something to show that sometimes good things don't come. Actually, most of the time, good things don't come easy. And when things come easy, I feel like the easier you get a thing, the higher the price. And it could be the price of getting it or the price of maintaining it. So I've learned to be very appreciative of things that don't come easily. And I've learned to actually gravitate towards, not that I look forward to have a hard time in life, but I just can't even help it. Nothing in my life has been easy, ever. Nothing I've ever gotten in life has always been handed to me on a silver platter. It has always been, I've gone through ups and downs, and then I get what I was actually looking for. What I would say is, when I was 20, and I mean, I don't shy away from talking about my age, because I really like growing. I really enjoy the idea of getting older. Yeah, people are different. I enjoy getting older. And because by getting older, I've gotten to be more self-aware. I've gotten to be more confident in who I am. I've gotten to achieve things that I never even thought I could achieve. I've gotten to get out of my comfort zone. I've gotten to even take more risks than I would when I was younger. I've had more opportunities. I've had more people, because you get more responsibilities, and mostly you get responsibilities because people actually trust you more when you're older or when you're more mature. If somebody would have told me when I was 20 that it would take me 15 years to achieve the kind of life I wanted for myself, I would have thought you were actually kidding me, because I don't have time to wait for 15 years. 15 years would have sounded like a lifetime. And to be honest, at 20 years old, I had a dream of traveling, going overseas somewhere. I was in Kenya at 20 years old. Let me think about my 20-year-old. So I was in Kenya. I had finished high school. I had probably joined college, but I still did not know what I want to do with my life. I was studying at Thika Technical, for those who know, who are from Thika, and I was doing business administration, a course that I really loved. But I don't know whether I wanted to do business administration so that I can be hired in an office, or so that I can start a business. I don't know. I really don't even know. I just knew that studying business would set me up, because I know, like, you can't go wrong with learning, with having a bit of financial literacy, or at least understanding the world that we live in, which is obviously business and marketing and all those kind of stuff. However, I wouldn't say necessarily that I knew what I wanted to do with my life. All I knew is I wanted to leave Kenya. Why? Because at the time, I really wanted to go to uni, and I did not think that I was going to burden my parents to take me to uni, because I had not performed very well to actually get me the, there's some people who actually get sponsored by the government, or they get scholarships, or they actually do get, there is a cutoff to get to uni, where there was at the time, I don't know about now. And I didn't get those points, and I knew that I couldn't just go to uni, and that's why I went to college. However, I knew the opportunities that are there in the Western world, especially, that you could actually study and work at the same time. And I wanted to do that myself. I've always been a person who is very self-driven. I've never been that. This is another thing. I've never been really a follower. I've never been a very good follower. It actually surprises me sometimes why I'm a good employee. Because I think I'm just a good employee because I have respect for authority, and I have respect for leadership, and I love to learn from people who know more than me. But when it comes to just like following someone, if you're just telling me, okay, let's go through this path, I'm not necessarily the kind of person who say, yeah, let me follow you. I'm the kind of person who would ask you, so, okay, first and foremost, where are we going? First and foremost, who are you? Where are you going? Have you been there before? Like, I will ask you all these questions before I say, okay, now let me follow you. I've always been a person who, I want to use my common sense. I want to think for myself. And then I want to be sure of the decisions I'm making, because I'm always very, very aware of consequences. And so I know every choice comes with a consequence, and I've always wanted to know the cause and effect. I've always wanted to know that I have made the right decision. I've done my due diligence, and the decision I'm making, there's nobody else to blame but myself, or at least the consequences or the responsibility that will come with the decision that I'll make. I know that I will be the sole owner of that. So I'm saying this to say that I had a dream to go abroad. It definitely was in Australia, because I had never heard about Australia apart from Neighbours Home and Away. in Hillsong. And so, and I had never heard anybody say they've been to Australia. I've had so many Kenyans, including my family members, going to America. So I knew so much about the USA, especially North America, but I didn't know anything about Australia. So in my young mind, because I started saying I want to go abroad when I was 5 years old, I think in my mind, I just thought there would be much more out there for a young person who is hardworking, more than I felt Kenya was offering. Not that I didn't try, I really tried my best to find a job. I think I really worked for about 5 years looking for jobs in so many places. I did work a little bit in different capacities, but my drive and my quest for education was more than the money I was getting in the companies I was working at. So, but coming to Australia, which is, you know, I've done many videos. Please, if it's your first time on this video, please watch a couple of the other previous videos that I've done so that you can learn about my journey, how I came to Australia, how I learned about it. I've talked about that. But coming here, I knew that I wanted to study. Definitely, I knew that I needed to get a degree in a field that I was passionate in. I knew I needed to do research and find out where I can be impactful in the society. I didn't just want to do business. That's why I changed my course, and I've done a video to talk about why I changed my course. But it was more because I wanted to do something for the society. I wanted to do a course that was not just going to benefit me, but benefit the greater good, or benefit the society at large. So social work felt like an amazing thing for me to do, and it felt like it was, ticking some of those boxes. But if someone would have told me that everything that I have achieved in the 15 years, in the 10 years I've been in this country, if someone would have told me that I would achieve everything that I've achieved, I would have thought, you're kidding me. If somebody would have told me everything you've achieved when I was 20, it would take you 10 to 15 years, I would have thought, you're kidding me. But what I've learned is that there's nothing as priceless as time. Time is the most precious commodity because time is the only thing you can buy back. You can literally even buy money back. Like you can invest and get money back, but you cannot if time passes, time passes. And I just did a post today and I was saying we are only 3 months away to 2024, and you cannot believe that year is gone. So I'm saying this to say I'm going to encourage a 20-year-old anywhere in the world, if they ever come across this video, or if you'll be kind enough to share with them, please don't be hard on yourself. And I would encourage, actually, I would do this. I would give this advice to my 20-year-old me. My 20-year-old me, I'll tell Console at 20, take your time. Don't rush. The grass is not always green on the other side. Things are not always as they seem. So looking at how other people are living their lives and comparing yourself doesn't always mean that your life sucks and their life is better than yours. It could actually be, for all we know, it could even be the other way around. Counting, being grateful for the little that you have. If you actually just have, there were days I was so happy to just have 100 bob. Like 100 bob, 100 Kenya shillings was so much for me. And I was so grateful that I could hold that. And it sucked at 20 to be broke, but it also felt good that I didn't have as many responsibilities. Now it's even worse, maybe, when you get married, when you have kids and all that, because the older you get, the more responsibility you have. And I feel like it's so much better to live in the present, and I'm reminding myself as well. And I would tell that to my 20-year-old, because I was always, like I said, I was always looking forward to growing older. But I'm so much appreciating right now the power of now, the power of the present, the power of being present in the moment, because we sometimes miss out on what's happening around us in this present moment because we are constantly thinking about tomorrow, constantly thinking, oh my God, I could be making a million right now. Other people are making millions. They're talking about it. I could be making, but they could be making millions, but they could be in debt. You know, if when you're comparing yourself, someone is driving a car, you don't know if that's a loaned car. You don't know if big house, you don't know if it's a mortgage that they're already struggling to pay. And maybe you're living in your parents' house, you don't even have to pay rent. You know, you're probably driving your dad's car, you don't even have to put fuel. So when you think about it, yeah, comparison is really a joy, a thief of joy. And I think looking back now, there's power in just appreciating where you are. You know, don't put too much pressure on yourself, because I feel like we are also not having enough conversation about mental health, and I feel like it's quite important, because the more you compare yourself with your peers, with your friends, with their friends, with your cousins, with whoever else you compare yourself with, that is already having some type of effect, because it's in your psyche, it's affecting your psychological well-being. But not only that, it's also affecting your physiological well-being as well. So I would encourage you, what I would say is this: don't give up on your dreams. This might sound cliche, it might sound weird, but being consistent in your dream, because I know that lady was also talking about having a YouTube channel and just having 2 people watching. I mean, how many years has it taken me? I'm on this channel, I'm on this platform, not that I'm here so that I can, you know, aiming, and I didn't start the YouTube channel so that I can aim it to get to 1 million. It's more like if I can just say something that or speak about my journey and that can actually inspire someone, that's better, that's good enough for me. However, yes, I did start the channel and I did have 1 person, 2 people watching, 3 people watching, and now we are 300, almost going to 400. It starts somewhere. But I think, you know, when we want things to happen so fast, sometimes they might not work like that. And like, I have a strong faith and I'm a believer in Christ. And I believe that, you know, sometimes God knows that we are not even ready for the blessings that we are asking for. You know, how many times have you seen people win a lotto or win one of these charities, sweepstake stuff, and then they get broke 2 months later? Because sometimes a blessing can be a premature blessing if it finds you not ready for it. So sometimes God is working on us to, you know, God and the universe know that we are not ready for what we are asking for. And there is a step we need to take within ourselves. It could be a discipline, it could be timekeeping, it could be management, it could be self-development, it could be being humble. It could be so many things that we're supposed to work on ourselves before we can get that which we think we need. And so I think that's what I've learned. I just wanted to share that, and please share down below if any of this makes sense to you. I really felt some type of sadness watching that lady, because she was saying, I'm seeing all these people driving big cars and I can't even afford. I don't even have a dollar. She was quoting like Kenya shillings that equates to $1. And I remember just feeling, yeah, girl, I was there. I relate with what you're saying, but I think it's much better, because something that you don't know shouldn't bother you. At 20, I never held 1 million. And that would never have bothered me, because it's not like I had it and I lost it. What you don't know doesn't bother you, or shouldn't bother you, clearly, because you don't even know about it. So I don't know, I hope this video encourages someone out there. Please share down below if this resonates with you, and share down below if there's anything that you reckon I should have mentioned that I missed up. Maybe you picked it up on other videos, or maybe it's your personal journey on whether you struggled with comparing yourself with others, and even when you didn't grow up in a world of social media, because I do acknowledge that's a bigger stressor, especially for younger generation growing up. But I am a millennial as well, so I know I'm part of that. It's just that maybe my personality helped me to sort of navigate that better. So please comment down below. I'll just stop there. I felt like this video needed to go out. I'm not sure who it belongs to, but if you feel like there's a young kid out there who is feeling discouraged, probably feeling life is so hard, and it is hard right now because there's it's just a financial crisis. There's just so much going on out there, and if you feel this video can encourage anybody, please share it with them. And please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share down below. Please share your experiences down below with me if this video resonates with you. And until the next one, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I'll put the links on both of them here, or at least Inspire YG on Facebook, Inspire YG on Instagram. And also, check out what I'm doing with Hakiki Foundation, which I'll post on the description box of this video. So thank you so much for popping in. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening to me, and being very supportive. I appreciate it. God bless you. Have a blessed week. Bye. Until the next one. Bye.